how do you find the right balance in which you believe in the person, you believe in the founder versus the product that he's selling? What's the right balance?
In an ideal world scenario, let's say you have done all the due diligence, because you said, how do you believe in the founder, right? So let's say you have done your due diligence, because founders can come and talk big games. I shall do this, I shall do that, I shall do that. There's always those unicorns who will do it, right? But we have to see what they have done in their life so far. And it doesn't have to be they have created already a $1 billion company. If they did that, they wouldn't come to us, right? There are some non-negotiables, the core values, what they have done. Ask in the local masajid, does he show up for Fajr every day? If you cannot show up for Fajr, for me it's a disqualification, brother. You cannot keep that commitment in the summer times. It's at 4 a.m. If you cannot keep that commitment during the summertime, I don't know how you're going to keep the commitment of creating this $1 billion company. This is your akhirah. You cannot keep your commitment to akhirah. How can you keep your commitment to the dunya? Let's assume you have done all the due diligence. You have looked for all the traits and everything. Okay, khalas, this founder makes sense, right? Then on the product, let's say also you have done all the due diligence of the product market fit, SWOT analysis, everything's done. Product is good, founder is good. Now, where's the balance? Where do I put more weight? I always put more weight on the jockey than the horse. It's the jockey, bro. It's always the jockey. If the horse loses the race, it's the jockey. If horse wins the race, it's the jockey too. So I always put more credit on the driver, not the vehicle. Because with the right driver, in these F1 races, right driver can save the car from hitting the wall, even if when they go off track. But if the car goes off track and it's not the right driver, it's a crash, it's fire, it's explosion. Okay, so same thing happens in company. The founder has a lot of personal drama, a lot of issues, marriage issues, woman issues, children issues, parents issues, whatever, bro. They just have a lot of issues and they don't know how to handle. Issues is not the problem. Issues can come. So they will just business will be the last thing because it's the investor's money, right? So, okay, investor has invested, but I have this to take care of. Those things, that's why, they have to make sure it's a lot of sacrifice, man. Being a founder is not for everyone. What is a founder? What do you think is a founder, right? It's basically you're putting everybody's interest with your mission. This is your mission, but all these people are putting money in your mission. So your personal interest, your personal vacation getaway at the cost of the mission, cost of the investors, no, it ain't happening. I have not gone out of the country for 8 months, even though I could. For me, it's amana, bro. This weekend, if I go out, there could be something that, I could have done better for the investor. The obsession has to be there. Always the founder more. As long as everything we have checked due diligence, if there's a little bit, 51-49 even, it has to be the jockey. And to know a founder is basically what I believe it was Umar radiallahu anhu taught us. To know a person, you have to trade with them, travel with them, live with them. So it's so important before investing large amounts in large mission, knowing the person, actually traveling with them. And that's where a lot of these traits that we just mentioned in the previous video, you could actually test them. Literally, you could actually go with the intention of testing them. How's their resistance? How long can they go without using the washroom? Seriously, bro. It's small things like that. Do they go all bonkers because they did not have food for the last few hours? Or just khalas, we're going to have food. We'll have food, inshallah. So these attitudes show, do they freak out if the washroom is dirty? Bro, just clean the washroom. It's dirty. What's the big deal? A brother before you did not do what he's supposed to do. What can you do about it? So all these things were so easy to find out during travel. What's the standard they hold themselves accountable to? So it can be that everybody's just taking things from me and I don't say anything. I'm so easygoing. No, I'm not saying that. So when you're traveling, it's amongst the brothers. That's the attitude. But let's say you're in a restaurant. You're paying. It's a high-end restaurant. You ask them for water. They did not bring your water. They brought the bread. They brought the food. Still water is not here. No, you hold them accountable. So I'm also testing them. Otherwise, all these vendors will take advantage of you, man. You're paying them. Of course, be polite and all that. Don't be rude. But you got to ask, what happened? So, having a rough day, I see the restaurant is empty. I say that, If the restaurant is busy, I say, I feel so bad for you that, you're so occupied and there's no help. You forgot my water. But if the restaurant is empty and there's no water, I'll ask them, so what happened? So these characters, I also pick on people. Are people just taking advantage of you? People you're paying for service. It's different between brothers and just getting along with people, being agreeable. Those are different things. So balance. All those things can be learned through traveling with someone.
I've met a lot of people that do have those traits that you mentioned that makes a good founder and people that you want to invest in.
Right.
However, bills come in play. Family comes in play. And they kind of suppress those goals and ambitions just to feed their families and whatnot.
Yeah.
What's your advice for them?
Number one, sleep less, because it's always the issue of time. So you have to literally take time away from yourself. You have to see, what am I spending time on? Literally audit yourself. Audit yourself to the T. And most of the time, it's your time that could have been managed better to do both. To meet more investors, to raise capital on your idea, and also to work a job to feed the family at the same time. Because, okay, you're a founder. What is a founder? You have an idea. Okay, so either you have bootstrapped it and opened up the company already. Now you need more capital to get to the next stage, or you don't even have the bootstrap money to open the company, right? Now you're taking the idea to everyone for seed capital or pre-seed, right? It's just a concept at this point. While you're doing that, it's 100% possible to have a full-time job, 40 hours, 50 hours a week, and also do that. And also pray Salah in the masjid, and also read Quran every day, and also spend time with family. All this is possible. It's just we make these mental blocks, and sometimes we don't audit ourselves. Go to your settings on iPhone and see how much time you're putting in on the social media scrolling. Mine is 0. Now I'm trying to take some time off of, because I'm a lot of the times researching on my browser is Safari, right? So it just says like this much time on Safari. Now I want to find out what was I doing all this time in Safari. I know I'm researching because I don't go on social media and whatnot. I want to find a way, even divide that. What type of research? What category? Could it be replaced with AI agents? How? What? Who? You understand, bro? So you have to really audit yourself. Driving time, commute time, meal time, shower time. All these things are basic necessities. It just has to be done, right? We have to take shower. Okay, now I can decide how much time I spend in shower. Some guys take 20 minutes. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? 20 minutes on what? So... So subhanAllah, bro, we have to really audit ourselves. These are basic necessities that just have to be done, but how much time I'm spending on those?
Have you ever come across somebody who had those traits, just didn't have that business idea?
So they don't have an idea to build on, but they have all the right traits.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. But then they don't have to be a founder. All these traits, you either become a founder if you have the idea, or you back the founder. You become that person's second in command, the person with the idea, because you have all the right traits. Right? So get behind on another man's mission. Basically, this is not, of course, the right example. Become the Abu Bakr of that mission. Become the right-hand man that the founder can rely on. You're the most reliable man in the room. For example, these guys, then your sweat equity, you don't even have equity, you just have all the traits. Your sweat equity, that person will give you some equity in exchange of your sweat equity. Then your $0 becomes $1 billion one day. And 0 becoming $1 billion is an infinite return. Just because of your sweat equity. And there are many examples right there. I would rather become a number 60th guy on Meta than becoming number 1 guy, ABC company around the block.
Why?
Because that's more use of my resources for the world, and commercially, number 60th guy of Meta is commercially far more well off than the number 1 guy of ABC company around the block. Of course, that's why I'm saying ABC company. If it's a founder, vision, and whatnot, that's different. You're rising it. But if you're just another company, there's no mission, vision behind it, but you want to just call yourself owner, it's better to work not for, with someone else who has a much bigger vision that you will change actually the world. You'll solve problems of the world if you back that man. Sometimes it's not entrepreneurship. You become an intrapreneur. You work within the company, but you operate like an entrepreneur, like a founder, but you're still working within the company. You're not the founder of the company. You're not driving the company.
How do you find those type of people?
Oh, the founders?
No, the people that are within the company.
Oh, there's
second.
Yeah. So basically, bro, this is what, my personal, if you ask me, this past week, the week before, where did majority of my time go is just interviewing the C-suite executives. So one person I interviewed this Friday, he raised $1.3 billion in his lifetime so far, Allahumma barik. Out of that, $500 million for one man. I wouldn't put his name here. He's one of the richest guy in the world, in top 50. He raised $500 million for that. He worked for Goldman Sachs, Swiss Bank before. So I'm trying to onboard him as our CFO for our DIFC fund that we're in the process of launching. And the goal behind the C-suite executive architecture behind that team, that's going to be the C-suite executive. These are your special operations, Navy SEAL 6 team times 10 of the company. They should be far more qualified and ahead of me in what they're doing. This is the goal. So how do you find them? You have to have the right mission. You have to be the right founder, and you have to pay them what to do. They're not cheap. Expensive is not the right word. They're invaluable. So you have to pay them what they're worth. So this is just one CFO, and we're interviewing COOs and CIOs. So these people I'm meeting, I'm learning from them. Because the interview questions I'm asking them is literally the question that I genuinely don't know answer to. I'm asking those questions. They're giving answers. First, I'm seeing, alhamdulillah, I'm not a dumb person. So I'm seeing if it makes sense to me. And it's not only making sense, it's great. And then I'm double checking the answer with other sources. And this is how exactly it should be done. I'm asking very complex questions. Like if we open a private equity firm here in DIFC, how do I buy companies in the US as a US citizen, but taxes I wanted to be charged to DIFC? Like those type of questions I'm saying. Actually, like at that point, let's say I don't know the answer. I'll know the answer next week with another meeting with a consultant, with a lawyer. I ask him just to see. But the answer he gave me is not a theoretical answer. It's an answer that he has done for other companies. This is how we have done. This is what you need to get in touch with. And then he actually saved me in one meeting. I was going to take a direction without going into details. It was going to cost me like $40,000 something. This is a decent amount of bill, like $41,000 or $42,000. He actually saved me that. I didn't have to do it. There's a better and streamlined way of doing it, like $2,000, $3,000, and I'll get the same result. These things you get from a killer C-suite executive team. You understand, bro? Like these. So his salary, he would pay for himself. He already paid me $38,000. If he does that 10 times with me, he has paid his salary himself. Maybe 12 times, but you get the point, bro.
Yeah.
So they'll pay for themselves if you had the right team.